Alrighty guys, let's just have a quick video today and a quick discussion on hardening off your plants. So it's getting to the point of the year where things are starting to warm up and I need to really get everything out into the garden. The seedlings are starting to outgrow their pots. They're getting really large, which is very rewarding, but I don't want them to just sit in there and die. So we need to get this going now. But before we can just plop them into the garden, we need to make sure that we harden off our plants. They've been indoors and in a greenhouse, and so by taking them out and putting them directly in the sun, it will severely shock them and in probably most cases kill them. And the reason being, when they're in the greenhouse or in the house, they're not getting the UV rays from the sun, and so they're not protected against it. So we need to slowly work them out and get them a tan, so to say, just like we do. You know, you go out, you get a little bit of sun, you go inside, next day do it again, and over time you'll develop a wonderful tan where your skin can handle the sun versus going out and just sitting under the sweltering sun and getting a sunburn. Plants are the exact same way. So what are some things that we can do in order to prepare all of our seedlings that we've worked so hard to grow for the garden? Well, let me show you. Okay, so the first thing that you can do, which you would want to do before this point where it really starts warming up, but I started opening up the greenhouse during the 40 and 50 degree weather days before full-blown summer is hitting. So it really wasn't that severe of light and heat and everything else. I've just been opening up the door and letting them get sun for a few hours, and then I would shut the door. So that's something that you can do. Now they're to the point over this last week that I just leave it open all the way. But the ones in the back are not receiving much of the sun that's coming in. And so for those ones, we definitely want to make sure that we're taking them out and letting them get some sun without, just leaving them outdoors or planting them in the garden. So here's just an example of what I do in order to bring my plants out of the greenhouse. You noticed in the greenhouse I do have many in boxes already, and if you don't have a box that is, a size to hold your plants, it's fine. I just cut around the box with a box cutter or scissors or whatever you have to make it so it's kind of like a tray, and that way I can bring out large amounts of plants easily and quickly, and I don't need to do it all one by one. But you start to notice a big difference in the ones that have been starting to come out versus the ones that haven't. And the ones that were in the front of the greenhouse versus the ones in the back. So this little guy was in the front of the greenhouse, and you notice the really green color on him versus this one, which was in the back, and it's a very light green. It's also not as big, and these were planted at the same time. They're both cucumber plants. Cucumber. But you can tell the difference that it has when they're out in the sun. They grow thicker, they're darker, they're more sturdy, they grow faster. So really important to do this step. Now these were at the front of the greenhouse. I'm still bringing them out here. Probably don't need to, but I am. But definitely I can show you guys the difference though from what it looks like with a plant that was in the greenhouse the entire time versus the one that had sun for the past week while I've been opening up that door in the morning hours. So it's a really crucial step to make sure that you do this. All right, so this is what you need to do in order to harden off your plants. You're going to follow this process of bringing them in and out for about a week. So, hey boys. So the ones at the front of the greenhouse, obviously they're much further along. They've been dealing with the sun, which is wonderful. But the ones at the back, I'm going to bring them out in the morning. So I'm up at 5 a.m. every day. Obviously I'm not going to bring them out at 5 a.m. I want to do it when it gets a little bit warmer. So at 9 o'clock every morning I bring them out and I sit them on that table and all over the patio, and I'll let them be out here for an hour to 2 hours and kind of just checking on them. I make sure that I set an alarm so I don't forget them out here, because that's another thing. Time goes by really quick and you'll forget about your plants, so make sure you set an alarm. Once they've been out, I will go ahead and I'll put them back in the greenhouse. Then the next day I will do that again for 1 to 2 hours. On the third day, I will leave them out for 3 hours. On the fourth day, 4 hours. On the fifth day, I'll try to leave them out throughout the day in a shaded spot of my house. Not in full sun, but they are out in the elements. They have to deal with the wind, which helps make their stems a little bit thicker and stronger. And you know, by the end of the week, they will be ready to go into the garden. Now, I know this seems like really irritating, but you know, it's not fun taking your plants in and out every day, but it is so crucial that you do this step because they've been living in such, you know, sheltered conditions. Throwing them right into the garden with full heat can shock them, but more than probably just kill them. And we don't want all of our time and effort and watering and growing and everything that we've been doing to be for naught. So hope this information was helpful. Just wanted to let you guys know what I do. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and leave a comment down below if you're gonna try this or if you do this with your own plants. So anyway, you guys, have a great day.